Welcome back, Monster Jam fans, to Science Series 15. This is racing. Normal racing. We will see triple threat racing later on, either today or tomorrow. Depends on when I finish this one. So you know how racing works. There's the jump. I wanted to make it a little steeper. Got a down ramp. You can see all that. Enough talk, let's get started. First up, Megalodon Neon taking on Alien Invasion Nitro. And off to a great start, and it will be Megalodon Neon moving on to round 2. Man, they missed a down ramp. I knew I made it too small. And the cat was meowing for me. He loves me. Anyways, Blue Thunder taking on Monster Patrol. Ford versus Chevy. Here we go. And nice race, and Blue Thunder takes the win. Alright, 2 new names making their competition debut. It's Glaze Machine taking on Monster Mutt Golden Retriever. Donut Truck versus the Dog. Here we go. And it will be Monster Mutt Golden Retriever taking out the Glaze Machine, who wasn't so lucky on the landing. Better luck next time. Alright, next up in racing, we got Unnamed and Untamed taking on Max D. I guess you could say it's Hyper-Fueled Max D. This was in the 2-pack with a Purple Son of a Digger. The chassis and the tires anyway. Anyway, down they go. And it will be Max D taking out Unnamed and Untamed. Alright, Battle of the Midwest Monsters. It's Bigfoot taking on Tailgater. And 2 Fords, and since Tailgater's Ford body was a snake bite hood, which is also a gator hood, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. And they both did the same landing, and they both hit. Wow. Alright, rerun. Alright, let's try that again. Man, that was like perfect. They did like the same landing, landed the same way, and stopped at the wall exactly the same. Like, what do they call it? Like, synchronized? Yeah. Anyways, attempt number 2, down we go. And it's going to be Bigfoot, leaving Tailgater in the dust. Well, I hope he gets another shot at Monster Jam someday. Maybe not in the first quarter, but maybe after the World's Finals, whatever they call it. Do they call it second quarter, or what do they call it? I'm actually not sure. And next up in racing, we got Backwards Bob taking on the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live exclusive Combo Crasher. This thing is really cool. This is the perfect body for it. And here we go. Oh, and Backwards Bob collides with Combo Crasher in midair and takes the win. Hey, the only rule here is, the only rules are stay on the track, and whoever goes the furthest is the winner. So Backwards Bob takes the win, advancing to round 2. Now on to the next race. And next up in racing, 2 names we haven't heard in a while, Bulldozer and Devastator. Let's go racing. Problem for Devastator, allowing Bulldozer to get an easy win. And next up in racing, we got the Slicer taking on Gravedigger. Slicer's competition debut, taking on Gravedigger, the normal one. Here we go. And Gravedigger, showing the new kid on the block how it's done. Alright, next up, 2 names that mean destruction. We got the Destroyer taking on the Blackout Max D. The custom one I made. And looks pretty good. Here we go. And it will be the Destroyer taking out Max D. Next up in racing, we got a new name, Crush Cycle, taking on our newest long jump champion, Gravedigger the Legend. Let's go green. And the new kid, Crush Cycle, taking out Gravedigger the Legend, advancing to round number 2. Alright, next up in racing is Fire Truck taking on an ATV. Radical Rescue versus Quad Chaos. And it's going to be Quad Chaos, 2022 World Finals Racing Champion. Alright, next up in racing, we got a new name, taking on a familiar name, but with a new look. Ranger Rescue taking on Full Charge. Corvette versus I don't know, fire truck, or more like an ambulance. But anyways, here they go, and over they go. But full charge goes the furthest, leaving Ranger Rescue in the dust. And next up in racing, got Son of a Digger, purple hyperfuel, I guess you could say, taking on 5 Alarm, who I saw in St. Charles. Awesome looking truck. Cody Holman, awesome guy. And here we go. And it's gonna be Son of a Digger. Alright, next up in racing, we got Demo Derby taking on Superman. Shame Demo Derby didn't come out for freestyle again in St. Charles. The same thing happened last year. I mean, what the heck? Anyways, you didn't come here to hear me rant. And it will be Superman taking out Demo Derby. Alright, next up in racing, we got Gravedigger taking on the reduced detail Yellow El Toro Loco. And it'll be Gravedigger. Well, both Gravedigger trucks have made it, although they did lose Gravedigger the Legend along the way. And next up in racing, we got Bog Hog taking on the most requested truck in the Science Series, Boss Gator. Heck, I should run in the next Science Series, give somebody else a chance to be in it. And they both kind of lose control going down, but Boss Gator manages to go the furthest and really dug into the down ramp. And the final race of round 1, Storm Damage taking on Gangster, in memory of Tim Mente. And Gangster advances to round 2. That concludes round 1, now on to round 2. But first, Fast Loser time. Pick 2 random trucks, Unnamed and Untamed, and Devastator. Oh, but wait a minute. Forgot to get this. Oh, and I threw Gangster in the friggin' bag. Ah, jeez. This was my problem, right? Alright, anyways, Devastator, Unnamed and Untamed, here we go. And Devastator's back in the game. Alright, round 2, a Todd the Duke themed race here. Megalodon Neon taking on Blue Thunder. And they both wipe out, but it's going to be Megalodon Neon getting it on. Alright, next up in racing, Max D Hyperfuel taking on Monster Mutt Golden Retriever. And it's going to be Monster Mutt Golden Retriever. And next up in racing, Battle of the Big Blue Fords. Bigfoot taking on Backwards Bob. Down they go, and it's going to be Backwards Bob taking out the king of the monster trucks. Long live the king. And next up in racing is Dennis Anderson versus Tom Meents. Because some of you may remember, and for those that don't, Tom Meents drove Bulldozer before Goldberg. So these two were rivals at the time. Bulldozer versus Gravedigger. Black and Green Wrecking Machine taking on the OG Bull. Here we go. And it will be Bulldozer taking out Gravedigger. Just like in Orlando in 1999. And next up in racing, we got Crush Cycle taking on Destroyer. Crush Cycle this time in the far lane. See how well they can do over there. Taking on the Retro Destroyer. Here we go. And Crush Cycle takes out the Destroyer. Destroyer just got recycled, I guess. Alright, next up, we got Quad Chaos taking on Full Charge. And here we go. These two kind of have similar looks, but it is going to be Full Charge taking out Quad Chaos. Alright, next up in racing, Son of a Digger taking on Superman. Down they go. And it will be Son of a Digger cutting off Superman to make sure he gets the win. Alright, next up in racing, we got Gravedigger taking on Boss Gator. And the OG Digger takes out Boss Gator. Alright, last race of round 2 is Devastator taking on Gangster. Will Devastator get gunked, or will Gangster get devastated? And Gangster got devastated. Nice save though, but Devastator is moving on to round 3. Alright, before we move on to round 3, time for another Fast Loser race. This time with 3 trucks. I forgot this is what I usually do. So we got Combo Crasher, Max D, and the Slicer. Here we go. And it will be Max D coming back for revenge. Alright, now we can go on to round 3. So starting it off, it's Megalodon Neon taking on Monster Mutt Golden Retriever. The Sharko versus the Doggo, and the Doggo takes out the Sharko. Alright, next up in racing, kind of a flashback showdown here, which I really need to do sometime soon. Whether this year or next year, I don't know. Backwards Bob taking on Bulldozer. Here we go! And it's going to be Backwards Bob. Alright, Battle of the Spin Master Concepts. Full Charge taking on Crush Cycle. And it is going to be Full Charge, putting an end to Crush Cycle's winning streak. And next up in round 3 racing, it's Father versus Son. It's Gravedigger taking on Son of a Digger. Here we go. And it's going to be Son of a Digger. And final race of round 3, Devastator taking on Max D. 2 Fast Losers. Here we go. And it will be Devastator. Alright, before we move on to round 4, another Fast Loser race. We got 2 Gators and 1 Hog. Boss Gator, Bog Hog, and Tailgater. Pick 3 random trucks, and here we go. Only one winner here, and it's going to be the Tailgater. Alright, now on to round 4. Backwards Bob taking on Monster Mutt Golden Retriever. Down they go, and it's going to be... Oh, Backwards Bob ain't touching the wall. Ooh. Well, neither of them are touching the wall, so we're going to rerun them. Alright, let's try it again. And it's going to be... Ooh. Once again, close, but not as close as the last one. Your winner is Backwards Bob. Alright, next up in round 4, Son of a Digger taking on Full Charge. Battle of the Purple Trucks. Different shades of purple, but still. Anyways, here we go. And it's going to be Full Charge. Alright, Battle of the Indies. It's Tailgater taking on Devastator. Let's go. And it is going to be Tailgater. Alright, that's the end of round 4. Now on to the semifinals. Right after the next and last Fast Loser race. Final Fast Loser race, we got Ranger Rescue, Crush Cycle, and Bulldozer. Let's go. And it's going to be Crush Cycle. Alright, this is the semifinals. We might crown a new champion here. These 3 trucks have never won before. This one has. This will be good. So Backwards Bob taking on Full Charge. Here we go. And it's going to be Backwards Bob. And who's going to face Backwards Bob in the finals? Will it be Crush Cycle or Tailgater? Let's find out. And this is the only way to find out. And it's going to be the Flying Recycling Truck. Crush Cycle. Taking out Tailgater. Obviously. Alright, Monster Jam fans, it's all come down to this. Past champion versus a possible new champion. In the far lane is Cyclops, Hobbies, and Crush Cycle. And in the near lane, Clovis the Race Age Luigi fan and Backwards Bob. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose. You know the rest. Let's go racing. And it's going to be Crush Cycle. A new champion. In its first ever sign-up series. Awesome looking truck too. I keep thinking it's going to be heavier, but I keep forgetting that the back half is plastic. And it goes celebrating his victory. Wow, that was perfect. Well, congratulations to Clovis and Crush Cycle. Thank you for watching racing, and stay tuned for Triple Threat Racing, which will be tomorrow. You don't want to miss it.